the right is actually having their own issues with how seriously to take conspiracy theories and the sort of parapolitics considerations. If we want to look at Theo and Joe Rogan here, so this is first. Joe sort of brings up Peter Thiel out of nowhere. We can watch this.
It's been an interesting experience, you know, and that's life. It's just like
life is an interesting experience.
Yeah.
It really, truly is. You know, but it can be awesome and it can suck. And the reason why
we have to stop for a second and just sort of.
I told you. I know this is like people aren't going to find this reference amusing, but in The Bachelor, there was this contestant that asked the lead, "What are 3 things in life that makes you excited?" And I remember his first response was, "Excitement." And that's what this conversation reminds me of. Like life is a crazy experience. It's like almost the ultimate experience, honestly.
Well, there's going to be a turn here you might not be ready for.
Okay. Well, it is a little bit difficult to criticize Rogan saying that by citing The Bachelor.
It's awesome.
I'm a Renaissance
woman. It's because it can suck.
I got a lot of different interests.
watch TV.
Yeah.
It's like how all the Republicans, like when they talk about
The Bachelor is so much worse than Survivor.
Hey, I stopped watching that like 5 years ago. Okay.
This is just like the Hunger Games.
I watched Survivor.
It can be awesome and it can suck, and the reason why it's awesome is because it can suck. Like you need them all.
Yeah.
While we're human, and I think we have only so much sand left in that hourglass. Where the humans are on the way out. I know a lot of people hate it when Peter Thiel says it. Like, Peter Thiel is a terrible person. He's evil.
Do you think he is?
No. I think he's just telling you the truth. I think he's, when they said, do you think human beings should survive? And he had like this long pause.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And then the interviewer was like, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. You think human beings which is not how you're supposed to do an interview. Well, at least not how I do it. I would let him talk as long as he wants. Like, I would let.
Wow.
If you watch my podcast I did with him, is these long ass stammers where he's like, everything he does, he wants to be very careful before he answers it. So he wants to consider what he's saying. If you ask me the same question, is it important that humans survive? Okay. Is it important that Australopithecus survived? It's not. Is it important that Neanderthal survived? It's not currently not important. Is it important that humans stay in this form? It's not. It's not going to be. If we're going to evolve,
we can cut that part there.
Let's address this, because I will say, like, I do think that the idea that life can suck is important for you to appreciate the experiences. That is a sort of there's a lot of like sort of like there's a lot of that philosophy. There's some like a little bit of Buddhism in that.
Without suck, there can't be awesome.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Without suck, there can't be awesome.
Surf's up, bro.
I'm trying to remember who it was that said like you need to cry every day to enjoy. But
nice.
My father? Was it
I'm
my
on
father
it.
who said that?
Jordan Peterson.
But this whole question of like, is it important for humans to exist? On one hand, I remember like James Lovelock, the scientist who found the hole in the ozone layer, and we ended up fixing it, incidentally, was asked about climate change in like the mid-aughts. He's a British guy. He's passed away, and he said, "I think it's good that people are talking about it now, but it's way too late." And he was like, by 2080, Europe will be sub-Saharan. By the end of the century, we will have lost. I can't remember what he said. 2/3 of our population. Mm-hmm. And they said, that's pretty dark. And he goes, well, I'm a scientist. There's really no difference between 1 million humans and 6 billion humans and 6 billion humans or whatever. And that's one take to have. But the problem is that when you sort of toss that around, it has a very bad influence on our politics.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden, like, oh, 1 million extra people or 1.5 million extra people died because of COVID. What are you going to do? Like, the problem with his attitude, so cavalier about it, is it opens the door to human suffering meaning nothing. And it opens the door to people who can avoid human suffering by having all the resources. Also, no judgment. No judgment. And so the idea that it's inevitable and it's not important for humans to exist in the future is one which is not just pure nihilism. It is also based upon where you're positioned in class, because everything that trickles down from that attitude basically means that human suffering is irrelevant. And if you can avoid it, and subject others to it by your avoidance, what's the diff?
And that avoidance is exactly what like the current elite class of people in the world are trying to create via the political system, with the network state, with Gil Duran's kind of reporting on this. But like rich guys like Joe Rogan, who when COVID hit, he had his bunker to go to. He had his compound, isolated from other people. You see like reporting about how these billionaires are building bunkers and like underground lairs basically beneath their properties so that they'll have somewhere to go. Their vision is not a humanist one. It's one that doesn't actually believe in the concept of humanity. They're either going underneath their bunker or they're going to Mars to colonize that area because they don't necessarily see they don't see value in our shared humanity. And that's why being a billionaire and being a rich person like this has basically fundamentally become a mental illness. They have no, they have no, they can't relate to regular people's concerns, and they're now the ones driving our politics in a way that is just about enriching them and enclosing and building up walls. Like what we're seeing about like the failures of liberalism and markets, like we have to move towards socialism and democratic socialism here in this country, but the right's reaction is walls, enclosures, isolation, be by yourself. And Joe Rogan's media output has been essential in furthering that kind of paranoia that's led to this. Sorry, Matt.
I mean, that's the thing that turned Michael against Joe Rogan, is when he started reproducing that bullshit about white genocide in South Africa.
Yeah.
Peter Thiel, it's probably pretty convenient for him to come to a conclusion that human suffering doesn't matter, because he is a defense contractor that sells AI to Israel. And that's, in fact, something that Theo Von brings up here a little bit later in this interview here, and look at the way that Joe Rogan responds to it.
Fake emails, fake person, they're in. If you don't make people, and then what are you going to do? You're going to require a digital ID? Fuck that. You should be able to be a whistleblower. If you're working from some company and you find out they're dumping nuclear waste into the ocean and it's killing all the fish, someone should be able to anonymously report that. And you should be able to do that through social media without having a digital ID that shows exactly who you are.
And they can shut you down.
I'll just say real quick before Theo goes on, you should be able to do that through the government, not like a social network. What are you talking about?
You should be able to tweet it, your whistle.
You should be able to have 1 million followers on Twitter as a whistleblower.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's the thing about COVID. Like, we shouldn't have been litigating that shit on podcasts. That's for scientists to get into. But anyway, here's the meat.
Just like, I don't know.
It's sketchy times.
Well, it's sketchy times. I mean, that company Palantir, that was doing all that crazy stuff in Gaza, in Gaza, and they were like, running
all
the drones and stuff like this, allegedly. If you want to,
what are you talking about? What are you saying they did?
That they had were compiling data on people that were there, and they were operating a lot of the drones.
Pause it for a
second.
I'm sorry. I'm asking myself this question, and go back a little bit so we can hear his entire spiel here. Do you think Theo Von knows that Palantir is owned by Thiel?
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does, and you can hear Rogan getting super defensive because Rogan definitely knows that Palantir is owned by Thiel.
And I love him like trying to get Theo to follow up here, knowing that Theo's just not equipped to give a real explanation about Palantir's technological surveillance of Gaza and like the AI that it's used to help the genocide. But
yeah,
like,
not just allegedly. Project Lavender, you can see 972 magazine.
Like, can you imagine if Theo Von, like Joe Rogan came on his podcast and he was like, "Get specific, Joe." I mean, like that's not gonna fly.
Fact checker Joe is on the case.
Yeah, right. When his buddy's involved,
it can shut you down. It's just like, I don't know.
It's sketchy times.
Well, it's sketchy times. I mean, the same company Palantir that was doing all that crazy stuff in Gaza, and they were like, running all the drones and stuff like this, allegedly. If you want to,
what are you talking about? What are you saying they did?
That they had were compiling data on people that were there, and they were operating a lot of the drones in the sky that also had weapons attached to them.
Okay, so you mean like facial recognition data?
Right.
Do they have that capability with drones? Where they could just zoom around? Of course they do. Is this horseshit? Is it real? Jamie's not even willing to talk on camera. He's just he's giving me winks and nods. I'm sure they do.
But we have no. They got
listen.
a big contract in America now, which is scary to me. That's what's scary to me. That a drone could go by.
Well, it's actually being used currently on Americans, Joe. If if you want actually some homegrown concerns about Palantir,
but not Peter Thiel. What am I going to? He's one of my top sponsors.
I only have 3 hours with him. I might have to ask him about it next time he wants to come on.
Yeah, they are literally right now. They're signing. They just weeks ago signed very lucrative contracts with ICE to do this very thing on American soil. So you don't need a fact check for that.
From this 972 magazine that I would recommend for everybody looking into what Theo's talking about. According to the sources, there's an additional automated system, including one called Where's Daddy, where people might remember this one. Drones would fly down and play sounds of children crying. Oh, yeah. To lure people out so then they could kill them.
I thought Daddy's Home, also the other crazy one, was when they would, if they had like some quota for the amount of innocent people that they would bomb when there was a so-called suspected Hamas militant in the building.
Where's Daddy might be a different one. It's still, the title is gross, but that's specifically to track targeted individuals and carrying out bombings when they had entered their families' residences.
The Gaza Strip is the most surveilled place on the planet. They pretend like they have no way to know about these so-called civilian casualties throughout the genocide, which was actually what they were trying to do. But in terms of their public pretense about this, they know exactly where everybody is. They know where to send a drone so that they can shoot a doctor directly in the head when he's in the hospital and then fly away and know exactly what to do there. Like, it's literally like shooting fish in a barrel. And the Palantir and the AI technology and all of the other stuff that read the Palestine Laboratory by Anthony Lowenstein, which talks about how weapon systems and surveillance technology has been used and tested in the Gaza Strip prior to October 7th, prior to the genocide. And that's where they fine-tune this crap, and then they bring it back here. So, Joe got a little pissy there, but he's more ignorant than Theo Von on this, who actually was on the money.
It's crazy to have Peter Thiel and guys like that in for hours and be a conspiracy guy.
And not even have a notion of that.
Yeah.
Cole from Little Rock, is this horse shit? Is this real? Needs to be a drop.
I don't think it was clean.
We got a request for that, and also Pam Bondi saying information.
Did you ever watch The Prisoner? We want information. You don't remember that?
No.
That was only for Sam. I wouldn't even ask you to then.
When was that movie from?
It's a TV show from the 60s.
Okay.
Was it the guy from like Coal Shack?
It's British.
Oh, no. Okay. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.